The Redmi Note 9 is only the second Mi device we have tested so far after the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max, which actually has a pre-applied plastic screen protector on its display. Fortunately, Mi devices have a good track record as far as good quality tempered glass protection goes, and we will be soon testing that out on the Redmi Note 9 as well. We have the new Redmi Note 9 in the studio, and we will be checking stuff out like the build quality, scratch resistance capability of its glass protection, drop impact resistance, and the effectiveness of its P2I water repellent coating. Those of you following the channel may be aware that last year the Redmi Note 8 was not that fortunate and had suffered permanent motherboard damage during the light splashing round. So fingers crossed that the Redmi Note 9 this year does better than the Redmi Note 8 and passes all rounds. The plastic body is slightly towards the heaviest side, weighing in at 199 grams, and the build quality seems to at least feel strong in my usual trial bend. The free soft case in the box is a bit more flexible compared to previous ones given by Redmi, but it does have good display protection at the edges, though not so much at the camera unit bump. So starting the scratch test of the Redmi Note 9 to find out the scratch resistant capability and quality of the glass protection on the display. The quality of this Corning tempered glass protection used on the Redmi Note 9 will be tested by rubbing with the blade of a heavy duty box cutter and common items found in pockets. Since glass is harder than steel on the Mohs scale of hardness, the blade is expected not to damage the glass protection. Here's where the blade comes to use. Since poor quality glasses on some devices with pre-applied plastic screen protectors do get heavily scuffed up with ugly scratch marks. Besides that, basic Corning glass protection, even on budget Redmi devices, are easily able to survive the blade. Based on Xiaomi's track record, the tempered glass protection on the Redmi Note 9 turns out to be genuine Corning glass protection and passes my scratch test without taking in any scuff marks or damage. Up next, moving on to fun stuff with value. A genuine bend test will give you a clear idea and prove the actual build quality of devices the company has given you for your hard-earned money. Especially devices which have failed the bend test helps us consumers by pushing brands into making stronger builds for us in the future. A few Redmi devices might have failed due to cost cutting and not the best build quality, like the recently tested Redmi Note 9 Pro Max or the Y2 in the past. But fortunately, most Mi and Redmi devices in recent times have mostly done great in the build quality department, like the Poco X2, Mi A2 and A3, and even the Redmi Note 8 of last year, to name a few. The Redmi Note 9 here also seems to be keeping up the name and strong track record of Redmi Note 8 by handling high amounts of force when pressure was applied from both the display side and the back side. Just like the Redmi Note 8, the degree of flex from each bend was pretty low compared to other plastic devices. Plus, there were no cracking noises, breaks or kinks near weak spots like the power and volume buttons. Kudos to Xiaomi, the Redmi Note 9 easily passes our bend test due to its superior design and build quality, and hoping that the Note series continues this trend in future. Next up, let's start with a test which had killed the Redmi Note 8 last year due to motherboard failure. Stuff to notice are that the Redmi Note 9 is not IP68 water resistant and does not have any kind of IP certified rating whatsoever, so it will be extremely risky to submerge it completely underwater. The SIM tray has no rubber seal on it, which is present on some budget devices like the C3 with their own proprietary splash resistance. We are looking for the presence of oleophobic coating on the Corning tempered glass protection. This oleophobic layer helps to lessen fingerprint smudges on the display, and as you can see, its presence is proved as the water is taking the form of droplets and rolling off the screen. since in devices without oleophobic coating, the water does not form droplets, but instead tends to stick to the surface, forming a pool. A wide variety of things may happen to non-water resistant devices during the water test. For example, as mentioned earlier, the Redmi Note 8 during the light splashing round had suffered from permanent black screen issue due to motherboard damage, or the Zenfone 5Z which had suffered from severe display damage after heavy drenching. Though the most common effect of water on devices with no water resistance is low loudness levels and sound distortion, which can last for a few seconds or continue for many hours, which can damage the sound unit, display or motherboard. Fortunately, the Redmi Note 9 until now has been able to keep up with the sound with absolutely no sound distortion or low loudness levels from the external speaker. Also, it's a big relief that the Redmi Note 9 has been able to cross and pass the light splashing round instead of suffering permanent motherboard damage like the Redmi Note 8. Will the Redmi Note 9 be able to handle and survive all the stages of water abuse, or will it fail like Redmi Note 8? Let's find out. As you can see, the Redmi Note 9 has managed to pass all rounds of water abuse and seems to have passed the water test without taking in any sort of damage to the internals or to the display. The Redmi Note 9 also manages to survive a few seconds underwater, but stay tuned to find out more in the drop test. Next up, we are going to perform the drop test of the Redmi Note 9 to know the drop impact resistance of its plastic body and design by dropping it from different heights and angles. So starting with the first drop from pocket height, bottom side facing the marble floor. From the first pocket height drop itself, there is a significant amount of discoloration and marks at the bottom right edge. So it's highly recommended not to use the Redmi Note 9 naked. But the permanent mark seems to be a minor issue compared to what is to follow. Wait for it. Right at this point, the display turns off exactly the same way like the Redmi Note 8 during the light splashing round. The Redmi Note 9 is already damaged from the first drop itself, which is highly unusual but at the same time is not completely dead. The touch and sound functions are still working as normal, though the display has gone black and does not want to come on. Right now, we are not sure about the exact cause of this malfunction, since it may be due to the water test conducted earlier.